Oh, that was just a good old-fashioned guilty conscience.
Welcome to Coffee Talk with your host, Linda Richmond.
I haven't done videos with backgrounds in a while, but instead of my shower, we'll just look at that, right? So first, there's a protective order, so we know that things really didn't change in certain ways in the home. And if you want to go back and look, that was, gosh, on the first or the second that we posted those, because that's pretty well known in the Fundies Snark community, and it's just being talked about a lot because the mainstream just found out about it, like other TikTokers, that this isn't really their like realm and stuff like that, right? Which absolutely no shade. Probably healthy that those people aren't immersed in this shit all the time. So there's that. So Jim made a lot of jokes in here, and I think that it was a mix between coping, and this is my educated opinion, which, fairly educated, about the brains and people and how they interact with society as well as these communities. So it's a mix of a guilty conscience and also him not really thinking a lot of that was wrong probably at this point. Not to mention, when you come into the situation with the protective order, he still believes that it's okay to physically punish people, presumably, because to get a 10-year protective order against someone who used to sit in the Senate and House of Representatives in Arkansas as a woman is unheard of, dude. If that didn't put it in perspective, the cop that should have reported Josh, mentioning this every day until it blows up, and I have a couple calls in, and thank you for the numbers and stuff, isn't on any offender registry that me or anyone else can find in the country. He should be pretty easy to find, considering he has 2 charges that are the exact same as Josh's. Actually more, because distribution and stuff. So, her getting that protective order, I really hope she's okay. That must have been a really serious situation. So then you come into the other thing, that Jim Holt had the exact same beliefs as Jim Bob for years. And so say that like something had happened that was bad. This is the material you would be given. Thank you to Recovering Grace for this one, by the way, and trigger warning. However, there's a longer version of this available on the IBLP's website, but this is a more condensed kind of thing, so trigger warning. So this would have been given to you if there were moral failures in the family, which a lot of families have this, and they shouldn't call it moral failures because that is reductive. But Jim Holt would have handed you this if you would have had those questions at the time that he was in the church or running the home church with Jim Bob. So most of what he said in the documentary, he probably didn't believe, and even if he did believe that part of it was wrong, he doesn't believe the whole thing is wrong. And again, the nail in the coffin was because someone came after his daughter. If it was everyone else's daughter, he was happy to hand them this piece of paper. Jim Holt says a lot of comforting things like this, but in reality, he betrothed his 14-year-old daughter, 14, which was the same age in which he married his wife, to be married to Josh Duggar. Like, there's a word for that. It's like Hong Kong pee-pee. Like, that's what that is. I mean, that's what all purity culture is, really, but we can talk about that another day. Oh, and he made some of those comments directly in response to Jim Bob losing his bid for Senate that he started when Josh was literally on trial.